is Ole Miss doing? After coming off of a struggling 8-5 season, Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels have completely turned it around in 2023. Ole Miss started their 2023 season off hot with a 3-game winning streak, with their big win coming over Tulane. They then suffered their first loss to Alabama, but then turned it right around and beat an extremely impressive LSU team, and then went on a 5-game winning streak. During that winning streak, they beat teams like Arkansas, Auburn, and Texas A&M. Unfortunately, they ran into Georgia, and we all know how that game went. But Ole Miss would finish off the season with 2 straight wins. They now finish with a 10-2 record, are ranked as the 11th best team in the country, and will play Penn State in the Peach Bowl. Overall, Lane Kiffin and the Rebels have turned their season around, and now the additions that they're making in the offseason could have them being one of the scariest teams in the SEC. Now, I know over here on the channel, we've been covering a lot of transfer portal news, specifically around Colorado and Coach Prime and how he's using the transfer portal, and Steve Sarkisian at Texas. Just seeing how both of those teams have been dominating the transfer portal. But when you look at it, Ole Miss actually now has the #1 transfer portal class in the country. And they've done that by landing some of the biggest names that were available in the portal. Just listen to the quality of talent that the Rebels are going to have next season. The Rebels are bringing in the #1 linebacker available in the transfer portal in former Arkansas linebacker Chris Paul Jr., who in his junior year played in 11 games and had 74 total tackles with 6.5 tackles for a loss and 2 sacks. Next, they're bringing over the 2nd best edge rusher and the 10th best prospect in the transfer portal in former Tennessee Volunteer edge rusher Tyler Barron, who in this past season played in 12 games and had 28 total tackles with 10.5 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. But why stop at just the 2nd best edge rusher when they also got the #1 edge rusher in the transfer portal and the 9th best prospect in the transfer portal in Princely Umanmielen from Florida, who in this past season, check this out, 39 total tackles, 11.5 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks. Oh, but don't think that the Rebels forgot about that offensive side of the ball. They also landed the 2nd best wide receiver in the portal and the 13th best available prospect in former South Carolina wide receiver Antwane Wells, who, even though he experienced a major lower body injury that limited him to only 3 games in his senior season, in his junior season, he went absolutely off, playing in 13 games where he had 68 receptions for 928 yards and 6 touchdowns. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, it also looks like they're a lock to land the #1 defensive lineman and the #1 player in the transfer portal in 5-star transfer portal prospect Walter Nolan from Texas A&M, who in this past season, even though he is just a sophomore, had 37 tackles with 8.5 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, and 1 pass breakup. On top of that, the Rebels also have the 16th best recruiting class in the class of 2024, landing big-time recruits like 4-star defensive lineman Cameron Franklin, the #2 wide receiver in JUCO in Deion Smith, and the 4-star interior offensive lineman standing at 6'2", 295 pounds, Williams Eccles. On top of that, they're also bringing back their uber-talented quarterback in Jackson Dart. The Rebels, hey, I know that we've been talking a lot about, Texas has been rebuilding. Colorado's looking like they're going to be a completely new team next year. Ole Miss has been very quietly making unbelievable moves in this year's transfer portal. It's the same thing as Florida State. Take a look at the big jump that Florida State made from last year. They had the I believe they had the 1st or 2nd best transfer portal class behind Colorado or over Colorado. And then they almost were into the college football playoffs if their quarterback didn't get hurt. Ole Miss is looking to do the exact same thing. If Ole Miss, the only 2 losses that Ole Miss had in their season was to Alabama and Georgia. If they're able to get over just one of those teams, Ole Miss might be in the college football playoffs next season. I'm just calling it right now. At the current pace that the Rebels are on, they're looking to land 4 of the top 15 best available prospects in the transfer portal. Talk about just getting Ole Miss has been by far the greediest team in the transfer portal. They've done everything that they can. Lane Kiffin has done a phenomenal job of addressing that defensive line, making sure that they can hang with the big boys in the SEC. If they're able to get after the quarterback with the amount of talent that they're bringing in from the transfer portal, and then they're able to spark that offensive side of the ball, the sky's the limit for the Rebels. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't get to watch a whole lot of Ole Miss games, so I need y'all to comment down below. All my Rebel faithful, I need y'all to comment down below. Tell me how excited that y'all are that the Rebels are making this big of moves this offseason, making huge moves in the transfer portal. It looks like they're doing a phenomenal job in this year's recruiting class as well. If they're able to recruit this well in the transfer portal, they might bump up into a top 15 recruiting class this year in the high school ranks as well. Lane Kiffin is doing a phenomenal job with those Rebels, and I need to hear what you guys have to say about it. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you guys think that you're gonna land Walter Nolan? What do you guys think of the crazy talent that's already coming in from the transfer portal? And give me your guys' objective thoughts on where do you guys see the Rebels next season. I need y'all to comment your thoughts down below. Leave this video a like and hit that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications, because we're gonna keep you up to date with everything that's going on in the transfer portal. Absolutely wild what has been going on for the Rebels. Hey, it must be good to be a Rebel fan right now. Hey, I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys' bowl game versus Penn State. Leave this video a like again, hit the subscribe button. Love and appreciate all y'all. If you're going through anything, know that you can always call upon Jesus Christ. He is always there. He's right there with you. If you don't know what to say, if you're like, oh, it's been so long, I wouldn't even know where to start. God knows your heart. He knows that when you come to him, he wants nothing to do but just to love you and support you exactly where you are at. You do not need to change. You do not need to change to have an interaction with Jesus. Always remember that. Love and appreciate all y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.